Welcome. Today we're delving into three important concepts in enzyme kinetics: Km, the Michaelis-Menten equation, and the Lineweaver-Burk plot. These concepts help us understand how enzymes work, how efficiently they bind to substrates, and how we can study enzyme inhibition. Let's start with Km, a key parameter that describes the affinity of an enzyme for its substrate. Km represents the substrate concentration at which half of the enzyme's active sites are occupied. In other words, when the substrate concentration equals Km, the enzyme is half saturated with substrate. Km is a measure of how tightly the substrate binds to the enzyme's active site. An enzyme with a low Km has a high affinity for its substrate, meaning it binds strongly even at low substrate concentrations. Conversely, an enzyme with a high Km has a lower affinity and needs a higher substrate concentration to reach half saturation. The Michaelis-Menten equation is a mathematical expression that describes the relationship between the reaction rate V and the substrate concentration S for an enzyme-catalyzed reaction. It assumes a simple mechanism where the enzyme and substrate bind to form an enzyme-substrate complex, ES, which then breaks down to form the product. The equation explains how the reaction rate increases with substrate concentration until it approaches a maximum velocity. At maximum velocity, the enzyme is fully saturated with substrate, and adding more substrate won't increase the reaction rate. Km is particularly useful when comparing different enzymes or the same enzyme with different substrates. If one enzyme has a higher kinase than another, it has a lower affinity for the substrate, requiring a higher concentration to achieve half saturation. This comparison provides valuable insights into enzyme efficiency and substrate preference. To better analyze enzyme kinetics, we use the Lineweaver-Burk plot, a double reciprocal representation of the Michaelis-Menten equation. This plot is created by graphing 1v against 1s, transforming the hyperbolic Michaelis-Menten curve into a straight line. The Lineweaver-Burk plot makes it easier to determine maximum velocity and k sub m. The x-intercept of the line gives the value of -1 divided by k sub m, while the y-intercept provides 1 divided by Vmax. This graphical method is especially helpful for identifying the type of inhibition an enzyme is experiencing. One of the most useful aspects of the Lineweaver-Burk plot is its ability to help us analyze enzyme inhibition. By observing how Vmax and Km change in the presence of an inhibitor, we can determine whether the inhibition is competitive, non-competitive, or uncompetitive. This understanding is crucial in drug development and research, as inhibitors are often used to modulate enzyme activity in medical treatments. To recap, K sub m measures the affinity of an enzyme for its substrate, with lower Km values indicating higher affinity. The Michaelis-Menten equation models the relationship between reaction rate and substrate concentration, while the Lineweaver-Burk plot helps us graphically determine maximum velocity and Km analyze enzyme inhibition. Together, these concepts form the foundation of enzyme kinetics. Want to dive deeper into enzyme kinetics and master these concepts for your biochemistry studies or the MCAT? Visit kotc.me for interactive resources, comprehensive guides, and practice problems that simplify complex topics. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore kotc.me for more engaging science content. See you in the next video.